Bran Stark was never meant to be a king. He was a boy of the North, born under gray skies, raised by honor, and shaped by innocence. His name was Bran Stark, the second son of Eddard Stark, Lord of Winterfell. Bran loved one thing more than anything else: climbing. Walls, towers, rooftops. Nothing was too high for him. While his brothers trained with swords, Bran climbed stone like a wolf climbing ice. He felt free above the world, where the air was cold, and the ground felt far away. Winterfell was his playground. Every tower was a challenge, every height a victory. He dreamed of becoming a knight. He imagined himself riding fast horses, wearing shining armor, earning honor in battle. No one told him that dreams can break as easily as bones. One day, while climbing the broken tower of Winterfell, Bran saw something he was never meant to see. A secret, a crime, a truth hidden behind gold and lies. And in that moment, his childhood ended. A hand pushed him. The sky disappeared. The world turned upside down, and Bran Stark fell. He did not scream. He did not understand. Only silence followed. When he opened his eyes again, the boy who loved climbing was gone, and something far older had begun to wake inside him. Bran Stark did not die, but something inside him did. Days passed, then weeks. Winterfell waited in silence. Bran lay still, his body alive, his legs silent forever. When he finally opened his eyes, the world looked the same, but felt completely different. He could not move. He could not stand. He could not climb. The boy who loved heights was now trapped in his own body. Outside his window, winter crept closer. Inside his heart, something darker grew. Bran did not scream. He did not cry. He only stared. At the ceiling, at the shadows, at a future he could not understand. His mother prayed. His father watched in silence. His brothers did not know what to say. And Bran? Bran dreamed. Dreams of falling, dreams of flying, dreams of a great wolf running through snow. In those dreams, he could walk again. Sometimes, he could fly. A voice whispered to him from the darkness. Not kind. Not cruel. Patient. You will never walk again, the voice said, but you will fly. Bran woke up shaking. He did not understand the words, but he felt their truth. The world had taken his legs, but it had given him something else. Something ancient, something dangerous. And while Bran Stark lay broken in his bed, far beyond the wall, old powers began to stir. The fall was not the end. It was the beginning. Bran Stark could no longer run, but at night, he hunted. When sleep took him, the world changed. Snow became familiar. The cold felt alive. His body was light. He ran on 4 legs, through forests of ice and shadow. He was not a boy. He was a wolf. Summer, he could smell fear, hear hearts beating in the dark, feel the earth beneath his paws. In those dreams, Bran was free. He chased. He fought. He survived. When he woke, his body was broken again. But his mind remembered. Maester Luwin called them dreams. Nothing more. Old Nan knew better. She spoke of skin changers, of people who could live inside beasts, of ancient magic from the age of heroes. Bran listened. The world was larger than castles, older than kings. One night, Bran dreamed of a crow, not black, not white, but something in between. It watched him with ancient eyes. Fly, the crow whispered. Bran tried to run, tried to climb. The crow pushed him. And once again, Bran fell. But this time, he did not wake up screaming. He opened his eyes. Inside the sky. Below him, the whole world. Frozen seas. Endless forests. A wall of ice stretching forever. And far beyond it, darkness was moving. Bran woke up gasping. He understood now. These were not dreams. They were invitations. Winterfell was no longer safe. Robb Stark rode south to war. The banners of the North followed him. And Bran, who was once meant to follow, was left behind. He sat in the great hall, watching shadows move across stone walls, listening to footsteps that no longer belonged to his family. Winterfell fell. Fire, steel, screams in the night. Bran hid in darkness, carried by others, silent and afraid. When the castle was taken, something else was lost. Home. So Bran left the only world he had ever known, pulled in a wooden sled, wrapped in furs, carried by loyalty. With him went Mira and Jojen Reed, children of the swamps, who spoke in riddles and dreams. Jojen knew things he should not know. He spoke of the crow, of the flying boy, of a destiny waiting in the far north. Bran listened. Every mile north, the world grew colder, older. The trees seemed to watch. The wind whispered names. At night, Bran dreamed again. The crow waited, patient, unmoving. Come, it said, beyond the wall, where maps end and legends begin. Bran did not know what waited for him, only that he could not turn back. Some journeys are not chosen, they are remembered. The wall was not just ice, it was memory, a frozen line drawn between the living and what was never meant to return. When Bran passed beneath it, the air changed. The world grew quiet, too quiet. Beyond the wall, trees stood taller, older, their roots twisted like fingers, gripping the earth. Snow swallowed sound. Time felt slow. Here, the past still breathed. Bran felt eyes on him, not human, not alive. At night, the fire burned low. Stories became real. The dead were not sleeping. They were waiting. Bran dreamed again. This time, the crow did not push him. It showed him. Kings long dead. Battles fought before memory. Children carved into trees. And among them, faces of stone, with red leaves bleeding from their eyes. Weirwoods. They watched. They remembered. Bran woke with tears on his face. He did not know why he was crying. Only that the world was full of pain. Older than pain itself. The North was no longer just cold. It was alive, and it was calling him deeper. The cave was hidden beneath roots and snow. It did not welcome visitors. It waited for them. Darkness lived inside. Not empty darkness, but watching darkness. When Bran entered, the world went silent. At the heart of the cave sat a man, or what was left of one. His body was thin, his skin pale. Roots grew through him, binding flesh to stone. He smiled. "I have been many things," the man said. "A knight, a lord, a brother. Now," he whispered, "I am the three-eyed raven." Time did not move inside the cave. Moments became memories. Memories became visions. The raven showed Bran the past. Winterfell rising from stone. Stark's long dead walking its halls. Battles fought before names were written. Bran saw his father, younger, laughing, alive. He reached out. The raven pulled him back. "You must learn to see," he said. "Not to touch." Days passed, or years. Bran's body weakened. His mind opened. Roots crept closer. The boy who loved climbing was fading. Knowledge has a price. And Bran was beginning to pay it. The three-eyed raven spoke, but time no longer obeyed. Bran watched. Past, present, and future overlapped. He saw kings rise and fall, brothers kill brothers, and winters come that no one survived. "You must see it all," the raven said. "Every choice matters. Every life echoes." Bran tried to focus, but visions came fast. Faces merged. Events repeated themselves. The boy who loved climbing felt lost inside time itself. Yet, one truth burned clear. The world is not kind. It never was. But it is waiting for those who can see. Bran understood. This knowledge was his burden. And his weapon. Bran wandered deeper into visions. Voices spoke through the roots. Hodor's name echoed. He saw the boy again. Hodor, Strong, gentle, loyal, but trapped by fate. Bran reached for him. The past and present collided. A door needed to be held, and only one could do it. Hodor screamed, and in that scream, Bran saw the cost of power, the weight of foresight, and the pain of destiny. Hodor's sacrifice changed Bran forever. Not all knowledge is free. Some is paid in blood. Visions grew darker. The Night King, a being older than men, cold as the wall, hungry as winter itself. Bran saw himself, the target, the weak boy who could no longer walk. Yet he also saw the cost. Every ally, every direwolf, every life connected to his survival. He could not run. He could not hide. The future demanded him to stand, even without legs. And Bran knew he would have to face the storm. Snow fell endlessly. The dead marched. Bran sat in the cave, watching the army approach, through visions and dreams. Voices whispered instructions. He directed allies, without moving a finger. Winterfell burned in visions. Screams tore through the air. The north quaked. And yet, Bran held steady. He was no longer just a boy. He was the mind of the north, the memory of every battle, the sight of every heart. When the Night King approached, Bran's eyes were calm. For the first time, he was ready. The Night King was gone. The battle had ended. Bran Stark rose, not on legs, not as a boy, but as something else. He was the three-eyed raven now, time's memory, the keeper of history, the watcher of men. He saw all, past, present, future, every lie, every truth. And yet, he felt no joy, no pride, only understanding. The boy who loved climbing was gone. The man who watches had taken his place, and the world, for a moment, felt a little smaller, because one man could see it whole. Bran sat on a throne, not because he desired it, not because he was a fighter, but because he understood. The kingdoms were fragile, men were mortal, history was eternal. His voice was quiet, his words deliberate. He ruled not with anger, not with pride. He ruled with memory. Bran looked to the north, to the wall, to every shadow and every dream, and he remembered. A boy who climbed towers, a fall that broke him, a crow who taught him to see beyond himself. The world had given him nothing, and yet it had given him everything. Because Bran Stark, the three-eyed raven, had become more than a boy, more than a Stark, more than a king. He had become forever.